front burpee, up, backwards burpee, front. And I say, okay, triceps, forearms, deltoids, biceps, how are they looking? What's happening? My name is Albert. Welcome to another workout with this 61-year-old. And so today I'm going to experiment with something that just came to my mind, which is to do a forward and backwards burpee, but with an easy bar. And so I'm going to do it first and then elaborate upon it. And so if you like stuff like this, getting creative, stick around. Let's hang out. And so let's get to it. All right, so here we go. Forward burpee first. Backwards. Forward. Backwards. Yeah. Forward. Backwards. Forward. Backwards. Forward. Yeah, backward, yeah. Yep. Backwards. Yeah, that was it. That was my freaking last one. Okay. And so, wow, that was cool. So this is the deal. The forward burpees is what I usually see and what's known, with or without the easy bar. Forward only. But how about back? How about engaging that core, along with getting the legs to work twice? And so this is hybrid style training where I'm always taking our time to get creative, which means to think of just different ways of doing exercises. Then the exercise becomes mine. And so this is what I've been doing here on this channel, creating, following a whole bunch of influencers led me to this point. Because I've done so many different types of exercises and learned so much by observing myself, because my job here is to do this, record the entire workout, and then observe and take a look. And even right now while doing it, I'm realizing, bring the arms down, get deltoid activation up. And so it starts to work itself out on its own, the exercise. And so the exercise here, it assumes a life of its own, rather than the mechanical, expected movements from A to B with form. Over here is like, oh wow, that front burpee is really cool. But how about if I go ahead and do that burpee backwards, which I'm gonna attempt to try this burpee here forwards and backwards with no weights. I'm gonna try it because it's interesting. It's a little bit harder to do the backwards thing. The backwards move, I don't know what to call it. I guess a backwards burpee is the best way I could think of, because this backwards thing that you see me doing, I've done it. It's called the Impossible Marine Corps Challenge, and that's all I've been calling it. But if you really think about it, it's a freaking backwards burpee. And so I like this idea of that now. I found a name for what I couldn't find before. Yeah, it's a freaking backwards burpee. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do another round of this burpee here and see where it takes me, which is the highlight of the style of hybrid working out that I love to do, where my GPS is on, which means that the exercise is going to take me to wherever it takes me until it feels really good doing the exercise. So let's get to it. All right, so here we go with the second round. Now, okay, front burpee, just backward burpee, front burpee, backwards burpee, front, back, front, back, front, back, front. That's it. You saw what's happening. And so, you know, the intensity of the movement had me one way, and then I chilled out with the chest, with the shoulder presses, because I started to not be able to execute it all the way. So I did halfway. And so the good thing about this type of burpee is that, you know, it could be modified, not doing all the moves. And so I'm gonna experiment. My chest still has power, but let's say I lose power in the chest, so I won't do the push-up. I'll just do the burpee without the push-up, which is one of the variations of a burpee. And so this is really cool, man, because I'm basically a 61-year-old having fun with exercising. And the fun that I have is doing my exploration. Front and backwards, the burpees, I think it looks really cool. And so what I'm gonna do is I am gonna face another round. All right, so here we go, baby. I'm gonna hold it now so I can get bicep activation. I'm gonna go slow at first. See how this feels. Okay, so there I go. Cool. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, 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 yeah. There it goes, baby. Now you see what's going on there? Now that's it. That's what I call my GPS mode, bro. The GPS hybrid mode. basically what I'm doing is that while I'm exercising, I'm feeling things through. And because I have power in the bicep area, I said, let me lock it in. Let me lock it in, because there's no reason for me to go through the entire motion where I could just lock in for a while and do bicep curls until I feel like all the muscles, they measure up. And so while I'm pumping out the biceps, everything else is getting a rest. And so therefore, when I continue the exercise, since everything else got a rest, gives me a little bit more spunk to continue. And so whatever gets tired, I work a way around it so that I can continue with whatever muscles are not tired. And so this is a really good way to really grind into a workout. Really grind. Like, I love drop sets for that reason. That type of strategy is happening right here, where there's a drop set happening depending on the entirety of the exercise and where I'm at. So if the shoulders tire out, then I won't press. I'll go up to here, and then I'll assume whatever other exercises that I can do. And so this is a dynamic way of working out, because it requires my system to move itself around in a different way without nothing being calculated. I'm not counting. I don't know what's going to give up. Like, this is a toss of the dice. And so this third round was really good. And I almost felt guilty, like, doing just biceps, because I'm like, oh, you're just staying there. Because that's the freaking condition aspect that I'm still carrying, that I'm trying to get rid of. I'm trying to get rid of that condition aspect of a protocol, of a design, of a blueprint of how you're supposed to work out. What I'm doing here is that if anyone is an observer, you see me sweating already. And if anyone observes my muscles, there was one guy who observed me really good while I was doing biceps. He saw the video from beginning to end and noticed that as the video got into it, my biceps were getting pumped, and he saw them get bigger. And he said, dude, you have to see the difference between the beginning of your video and 20 minutes in, your freaking biceps are pumped. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about counting. I'm not talking about some type of a protocol measure, 3 sets of 12. I'm talking about just pumping. And when I pump, I just pump, and that's the way it goes. And so what I'm going to do now is that I really like what I did, and I really like that there's bicep activation. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to let loose once again for this 4th round. So let's get to it. All right, so here we go, round number 4. And I'm just going to freaking pound it right here, man. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to let loose, because that's what I'm feeling. Yep. And I'm going to mix it up, man. Mix up this forward and backward burpees. Okay, so I'm feeling it right now. Okay, back first. Yeah, baby. So, man, I feel like this is a sports game where I am also whoever the contender, the person that watches and talks about it, you know, those people that sit behind, they go, oh, and so the fight, I feel like I'm one of those guys, because I didn't know what I was going to do. But I felt like that's lightweight. What I do is that I pick up light weights and I rock the light weights until they get heavy. If you work light weights and you know how to work light weights, you'll pump the muscle, and when the muscle is pumped, the muscle will grow, bro. And if you haven't seen it for yourself, it's because you're not exercising via observation. You're exercising via what you're being told. You're not taking a look to say, well, yeah, freaking fried my muscles just work light weights, bro, because that's what I did and that's what I saw and this is what I got from it. And you be able to see the payoff if you do what I do, which is at the top of the month, I take a look and I say, okay, triceps, forearms, deltoids, biceps, how are they looking? Lightweight, muscle, 61 years old, takes only creatine, nothing else, because I'm not a bodybuilder, so I don't need to mess with that world. I don't care about the muscles for looks. I'm not competing. I learned from Dorian Yates. That's my teacher. And so, there we go, man. So, this brings me now to just saying that for this round here, I kicked it with biceps. I decided to go back first, and I started to feel my legs are starting to give out. So, I started to strategize. Okay, so what's left in me? That's Dorian Yates too, baby. What's left in me, there was a lot of chest and biceps. So I stuck there and I did some more biceps. And so since that was left in me, once I felt like the crunch of the chest being pumped, then I said, okay, I'll go back more now. I'm feeling like I'm wearing out backwards. And so now I'm gonna focus forward. So I did a whole bunch forward. And that's what I mean by milking the exercise. That's it. That's a term that I'm gonna freaking keep. Milk the exercise from where you stand, like where you're at, and just milk it. And there's your workout. That's a workout because you're working out. And so I am here working out intelligently, safely, lightweight, engaging the whole body, 61 years old, sharing these ideas to just hopefully get us moving in any way possible, not, a calculated way, or because science says like this. No, move your body. I don't know how you can move. I can't tell you how you want to move or can move. I don't know your freaking capabilities, so I can't this is not an advice channel. This is where I just share what I'm doing. I'm just a student here, man. I'm just a guy working out, which makes things even better because I'm not teaching. I'm not selling anything. I'm just here sweating, doing this forward and backwards, a burpee, which is so much fun. And so what I'm going to do now is that I am going to keep in mind while I'm working out to go from bicep to this way. I'm going to find a way to, within the realm of the exercise, to flip it around so that I blend everything together. And so let's get to it. All right, so here we go. Facing this one more time. I'm going to rock the biceps because these are lightweight, so I'm going to freaking rock it. Why not? Rock it, bro. Rock it. Yep. Oh, yeah. Until I feel the pump. And this is building muscle, by the way, guys. Because the blood is being sent to the muscle and it's getting a pump. And so, absolutely, this is building muscle. 100%, man. And so, right now, go. Yeah. 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 Turn it over. Yeah. 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 Turn it over. Let me stop there. Let me stop there. So let me report what happened there. So I rocked the biceps. I got into it. And then I just did my thing. And so since I have more chest in me, I did a few push-ups. And then when I felt like the burn was there to move on, I moved on. And now, very important, my core and leg strength going backwards is at its minimum. So I got more of me with the front burpee and less of me with the backwards burpee. See? Now that's a note that I jot down. The second thing is that I have more muscle and more strength this way. I would say the opposite of pronated is this way, supinated. So there's more power. Now, that part I did not know, bro, because I always avoid holding the easy bar this way. I always avoid it. I always hold it this way. And so what I learned just now is that there's more strength. So what I did was that there was a moment where I was plank and I turned over and I said, let me continue. And there was a drainage there. I felt drained. And so I said, okay, let me do one and let me turn back to where there's strength. And then so I continued supinated. And so I continued on that road until I felt as though that I'm at the edge. And so this is going to be my definite last round here, which I'm going to try now without any weight. That's a fair measure. That's a very, very good idea. Now, for any of you that may be hanging into stuff like this because you like this, the backwards burpee is harder without any weight because I use the weight as momentum to prop myself up. It's a way to balance myself, to get up off the floor, which I will call a trick. I'm not gonna have that now. I'm freaking freestyle. And so I'm gonna see, just for curiosity, I'm kind of beat down. I'm gonna face this now with nothing, just to see. And so I get to see it. So let's get to it. All right, so here we go, barehanded. So I'm just gonna do standard burpee, yeah. Come on now. Okay, let's get this straight. Yes, yeah. Come on now. Yeah. 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 Wow, let's see. Yeah. 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 That's what I'm talking about, bro. I felt like, bro. And so I'm gonna call it, because tomorrow I have maybe 2 to 3 hours with the kids running around, jumping, playing tag, which is a super cardio with kids. Is the highest level of cardio that I've ever done in my life is playing tags with kids. Imagine chasing that kid. They're dodging, they're going like this, so I'm then chasing the other kid. And so these kids make sure I'm the one that's always it. So I'm constantly running after all three. And so I'm fair with the three. There's 4 kids. I'm fair with them. So I don't target particularly one kid to chase him. These kids run fast. So I'm sweating. Everything, every single muscle took its course. Like I took the biceps to its course, the chest to its course. The legs, I felt I could not do it. And if you saw the last burpee, I could not, my core did not allow me to get up. And so the last burpee I thought was pretty cool. I'm impressed that I was able to find the swing of that type of a burpee, where I kind of like did it. And I didn't really jump high because I was gonna hit the light. So I didn't position myself properly, but imagine really a forceful, which I'm gonna try right now. Let me see if I could. I'm gonna try it right now just to take a look and I'll say goodbye. All right, so here we go. I'm not gonna crash into anything. All right, man, so here we go. Yes!